2018. Do you think I want this hair? 2019, 2020.
21, 22, 2023, I am 60. 2028, I'm 65. 2028, I'm 65. That means in 10 years from now, I'm 65, the age of retirement. 47 years. The cycle of the star system inside the moon will pass me by from the drinking age, from the gaining of the spirit, into the college and getting to know the world, into reaching 47 years later, into practically and definitely passing completely through 47 years of 360 degrees. 47 times 360. 47 times 360. 16,920. 16, 1 and 6 is 7, 7, 9, 20. One cycle of the earth. The 47 years from the 18 to the 65. I count all of the 18th year. Do I count all of the 65th year? 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37 counted at 20. 47 counted at 30. 57 counted at 40. 40 years? Okay. 57. I'm age 57. 41 at 50, all of 58. 42, all of 59. 43, all of 60. Age of 60. 43, 60. In a period of cycle of 47 years. 43 DC to the time cycle of 60. 44, 61. 45, 62. 46, 63. 47, 64. I'm only 64 at 47. At 48 years, okay, gone by, I am 65. So 18 to 27 to 37 to 47 to 57. That's 40 years have gone by. 40 years have gone by. All of 57. All of 58, all of 59, all of 60, all of 61, all of 62, all of 63, all of 64. So when I have completed 64 years, I am going into my 65th year. So on my 65th birthday, and not completing, is the year that I start to collect from day one at the end of 64 years of my birth. Assuming that when I become the 18th year old, that I become one after the first year is ended. So when I hit the year of 18, I'm actually really 18. 01, 02, 03, 04, 05. From 0 to 1, from 0 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. I went all of 5. Once I touch 5, once the 64 years are completed, once year 1 is completed, I'm 1 year old. So once the 18th year has come, on my 18th birthday, okay, I have completed 18 years. So on my 65th birthday, I have completed, after the 47 cycle, all of my 65 years. And now I'm only being paid off in my 66th year. Because they began my life, every time I hit a number, I have completed the number. So when I hit the age of 18, I have completed 18. When I hit the age of 54, I've completed 54. I'm in my 55th year right now. 47 years, 5 times 7, 5 plus 7, okay, equals to 12 and 35, Electric Company of Creation. ECE 353. 3 times 5 is the Mars creation. It's the 1/4 life of time. I've cut out all kinds of stuff, oranges, where I'm seeing different time clocks match up and different doors opening, as one door opens in one area, one door closes in another area, as we turn the face of time, right? We turn 5 and channels open. Channels meaning rivers. I do word analogy. I check the numerological count in a word, which means I take the letter in the alphabet, and whatever that letter is, that's the numerical value. I can do it from the top down or the bottom up, starting at 26Z or 26-1. I can also put the numerological world first as well as second, is that after I finish my 26 alphabet, I can then go to my 9 plus 1 numerological reset. And one of the reasons we need 10, 11, and 12 is because you do not complete anything, okay? You have not gone anywhere if you're standing on your own one body, on your own 2 feet. So you haven't. So the minute you advance 1 foot forward, you've already planted 2 feet on this earth, so you have 2 feet standing. Then it's like you coming out of the hole. You came out of the hole. What happens? 1 came out of the hole, 1 moved forward, and 1 stand on 2 feet. And then we create. This is a wheel for roulette. This is a calculator. This is a pen. Does anybody know how to use all these 3? I bet everybody just thinks this is all about gambling. But it took a mind to do this. Look at my hair. I'm 54 years old, into my 55th year. I don't look right. I walk down the street and I guarantee you somebody says to me, you don't look right. You don't look good. Is there something wrong with you? You're a little bit brighter than everybody else. Your eyes stick out. You're not conformed. Look at the black balls in my eyes sticking out. I'm not into conformity of the world. But what bothers me is that while you say I'm not in the conformity of the world, I find that I don't have the patience to do certain things. I want to learn to play the piano, but it all takes time. I spent 47 years to get to this point. What have I chosen to do? Does it make me happy? Does it make me sad? Am I frustrated? Am I mad? I've said some pretty indecent words in my life. Some I'd like to take back, and some I can still cry and say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I said this to you. And others that think I said the wrong thing, I'm saying, you know what? I wish you can see the other side of things on why I said what I said. I wasn't meaning it to harm you. I'm just a dumb motherfucker. I don't know how to speak sometimes, and sometimes I say the wrong words, not on purpose. I don't know everything, and sometimes I think, in some cases, I know nothing at all as to the understanding of the reality of the situation. To close the hole, I need a round ball. Not a square, because it's not square. If it's a round, I need a round to close it. I need it to go all around. Hey, let's pass it around. Can this turn if it was square? It certainly can. But still, even if it was square, wherever the points are, the greatest diameters, that area of space cannot be used by anybody or anything unless there's a pin. If I cut this thing square, right, and there was a pin at this area over here, it would push the pin out all the way around, and then once it got back to this area, it would come back in. So if this pin was touching something else on the other side, it would say, hey, I'm going all the way around. Do you follow what I'm saying? Here's a pin. See that flat area? Once I turn this, it's going to push that pin out this way. Or if this pen was stable and it was a rod, it may push this way. Click, 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 on 4 different parts of time. But the minute it comes here, this one goes in. Imagine there's one on this side, and we're now having 2 time counters. And then I can have one here, and then one here. And this pen, right? This pen, if this pen was pushing, right? I could not push. If I push this way, it comes away from this one. If I push up, it comes away from the one below. So if everything was pushing towards the pen, when it came here, it would all click at the same time. So one rod, okay, would alter all. The oranges, concepts. This is what I do. Concepts tell me something. We need to restructure these, the budget, the spending, the where we spend the money, where the money comes from. I think, I haven't set up the idea yet because I don't know the whole charade. I don't know the whole game. I know we need money, free money for medical. I know we need money for, like, banks are way overcharging because people need banks unless we don't have enough ways to process our money, right? We need more ways to process our money so that every family can save a little bit of money. Why is it costing so much at a bank, right? Me, personally, a year cost me about $275 at the bank. But if I'm writing check, it's going to cost me more. And don't forget, there's a process for everything. And we need to make the money go around. But we need to make more money. We need stabilization. Okay? Now, I need to hear and listen to put everything together because I'm like an empty computer. Unless you fill me up with something. Fill me up, buttercup baby. Make my baby grow inside so that I can know and hold it. And hold it right here. Every piece of this orange is needed to complete this ball. All these lines and realities are needed, right? Here's a baseball. You see there's a, see that? That's a baseball, right? And I mean, we all can understand. But let me look. Do I have a, I'm looking for something. Okay, I mean, we're not going to ruin this ball, right? I mean, because this ball's incomplete. This ball is definitely incomplete. And if you want to know how we're going to enter into Earth, we enter into Earth here. See, that's the air hole to put the air in the ball. Right? Now this is, let me see if I got this light right. Right? Now this is the way the ball should actually look. There's 4 areas. 1, 2, 3, 4. The angle of this area, see the way it's going up? We have to get out of the U and continue into the straight angle before it moves again. Why? I don't know. Is this the way Nibiru is moving? Right? It'll never come any closer. It's on the train. So here's my 4 areas. But the reality of this, if these are 4 areas, should each of these areas be actually 9? Right? 9, 9, 9, 9. Each of these areas become 9. Whatever's online is null and void. Now to set a new reality in this, we took the 4, and now we made one of the 4, and the center, the 2, 4, 6, 8, right? The 2, 4, 6, 8. And the 4, 5, and 6. Question is, when you take this basketball, when they're playing with this basketball, where do they want to put their hands? When they line up, okay, for a shot in the bucket, are they throwing it towards the bucket this way or this way? If they're throwing it this way, okay, see that half space, and I lined it up with the air hole, right? If they're throwing for the basket, it's how everything motions off of 5. 1 and 5. 5 fingers, 1 arm, 2 bones that hold it. How do we actually understand that reality? Can I open up a corporation? No, because I didn't study and follow the rules of those who created the creating of a corporation. Am I a lawyer in court? I certainly can walk into the courtroom. I certainly can complete my case. But am I a lawyer? Do we need to spend all this money to lawyers so they can build these big buildings, so the construction workers can take home big salaries to work 40, 50 hours a week? And by the time they get home, they get most of them, a lot of them get that vacation in the winter to spend all their money, right? Not everybody everywhere gets winter vacation like here in Canada. So I'm trying to think. So if we spend the money, and then these lawyers spend the money, and then they got to drive their car over to work, and they go out for breakfast, and they go with their friends for breakfast and for drinks, and there's got to be a bar, a restaurant, a highway to get to. So all these things cost money to build. The exchange, okay, of other people's doings. Now, do we really need lawyers at $250 and people working at Tim Hortons, McDonald's, and all general laborers at $10, $11 an hour? From $10, $11 an hour, okay, to an average, a middle-class salary where somebody takes home a decent salary, really, at $25 plus. They're making 2.5 times less. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It takes $25 an hour. And no one should have to work more than 35 hours a week for that $25 in order for you to make it. 35 by 25 is $8.75, and the reason I know it is because I multiplied 3 times 25 is 75, and then a half is 3 is for 30, and 5 for a half of that. So that would be $8.75. Tell me I'm correct. Tell me I'm correct. 25 times 35, that's right, $8.75. What? That's right, $8.75. Right, minus the taxes, you're left with 6 1/4. Times 52 weeks, you're left with $32,000. Rent. You want to live in a decent house, right? What is decent? What should be living in? I think what I'm living, I don't think anybody needs to spend more than $100,000 a year on an apartment. Really and truthfully, I like my apartment. I think it's big enough. I know if you had kids, it'd be a little small. There's no real place to play out here. There's the park. So in all general, if we really needed to live in something, this is good for 2 kids until the kids are the ages of 13 and you have a son and a daughter in the room. And, well, it gets a little awkward. I can make the bedroom a little smaller. How big of a room do they need, right? How big do you need? Go out on the street, read, be happy in the cubicles that we're in. So now we have $32,000 to grow a family. Now, much easier with a car. So let's budget that car at $5,000 a year. Yeah, $5,000 a year. Let's say the husband, the wife, the 2 kids got to get in one car. And not only that, you got to drive to work. So you need gas. Let's say you need $40 a week in gas. Okay, the 52 weeks is $2,000, and you need tires, and you have to buy that car. So $5,000 is nothing a year. So that 32 becomes $27,000. In that $27,000, you're going to pay a minimum of $600 rent. And of course it's more, but I have to go low just to show you how broke you are by spending the least. And that $600 a month is $7,200, so that $25,000 now becomes $18,000. And in that $18,000, you're 2 people living, okay? You have $18,000. Now the food is going to cost you a minimum of about $400 a month. And that's $12 a day per person. So that $1,200 a month times 12 months is $1,440. You're left with $3,500. You need a pair of glasses or whatever. So you have $3,500 from someone who worked 35 hours a week at $25 an hour. And I'm saying that because you need a little extra time, I believe, to spend with the spouse, to go out, to, is work being away from the spouse, with the people, working on a lame job. What is life? I don't believe out of the 168 hours in the week that we should spend any more than 35 hours at work, including 1 hour to drive there and back, or 10 hours equals to 45. You have 123 hours. What do you do with your 123 hours? Can we be creative at home? Some will tend to work 10 more hours, let's say. Still, we have 100 hours at home. In these 7 days a week, at about eating breakfast and sleeping is 9 hours a day. So 9 times 7 is 63. So you have 63 there, and let's say 40 to work. You have 105 out of 168 hours. So you have 63 hours left, plus the 10 hours that you might have to drive. So right, and this and the shower and everything. So you're left with 40 hours a week. 40 hours, 45 hours for your work, 45 hours for your home, 63 hours of sleeping, and 13 hours of miscellaneous, if I got that right. And that was your $32,000. And you had only left over $4,000 for the rest of the year. That's $250 a month. And don't forget your gas budget was $40. Most people are spending $60 and $80 a week. Add on another $2,000. There's no money left. Now, if both of them work, now that's a little different. Now we're going to go at an average salary of $20 each. After taxes, if they're working 35 hours, is $700. Is $700. So they make $1,400. They're going to spend, again, they're going to spend on the $700. It's a minimum $200 in taxes. A minimum. They're left with $1,000 each. $50,000 a year. $50,000 a year. We have one car. It's six. Okay, and they both have to go to work. They have one car. So transit in a year, okay, is going to be $500 a month. Transit. Should we say that? $200. Let's say $60 a week for gas. That's $3,000 a year. Plus to buy the car, $2,500 a year with tires and everything else. Okay, so that's $5,000 for the car. Your $50,000 is now down to $45. You're living in a reality house of $700 with the phones and this and that. $800 the cable and internet. That's $9,600. So this 45 now became 36. 36,000. You're eating for $500 a month. That's more of a reality. $10 each a day. $20. That's $600. $600 a month. $7,200. So that 45 became 38,000. We have no kids yet. We have 38,000. The apartment we spoke about. The food we spoke about. The food in the apartment is $1,000 a month. So that's 12,000. Plus the car is 6,000. Is 18,000. From the 50, you're left with 32,000. Do we have enough money? So now the two of you are working at different times. One is working night, one is working day. You never get to see anybody. You don't have a life. So now you're both working during the day. You can never meet up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday because you can't get away from the job. So you have a night life together and a morning life. But no in-between life. No spice of life to meet in between the spouse. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so for me, there's something wrong. At least that's the way I think of it. Unless you're a truck driver and she's with you, and that's a different kind of life. So there's many different kinds of life, and it depends on the jobs you choose, right? I mean, if you're a dentist and you take off lunch and your wife is nearby, you can go for lunch. But if you're working, you know, your life at McDonald's, because that's where you are at $12 an hour, you ain't making So anyways, talking about all these things and this. What I want to talk about included in this is the piece of paper. One piece of paper. Folded in two, you have 2 sides. Folded in 4, you have 8 sides. 4 sides on each. You have 4 pieces on each. Then you have the 5th piece. The 5th piece, one here and one here. The center is the 55. There's 4 stories and 4 stories and 4 stories and 4 stories. You can cut out those 4 stories. Or those 4 stories will be spun by the center. Or you can create 3 parts of a story all over here. 3 parts in one part. 3 parts in one part. 3 parts in one part. 3 parts in one. This 1, 1, 1, 1 equaling to 4 is an area 5. 5 and 4, the passage in the sun. The information network, the sun and the moon. So we have a couple of designs I was going to show, but I can't show it this way, and it's way too far into the video. I just finished showing you this. So there's 3 areas here, 3 areas here, 3 areas here, 3 areas here, and this is one area. And in the one area, it's the passing of 2, 5, and 8, and 4, 5, and 6. So all these 3 join this one, right? The totality is 9, because this area in the center here, that's area 5. If that's area 5, actually this area over here is area 9 in the 5 position. But here's a 5 position, here's a 5 position, and here's a 5 position. 5, 5, 5. 125. 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 is 600. 5 times 5 times 5, 125 times 5 is 625. Area 4, area 1 times 41. Or times 5. 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 equals 625. Times 5 is 3,125. Times, I think is it 8? I don't know. Then divided by 8 equals. Times 9 equals. No. Times, okay, so it was 25,000 was that answer, right? And that 25,000 plus the original 625 equals 625 divided by 41 equals to 625. I've done it before. The Mayan count is exactly that. Raphael in a long video of life, eh? Long video, way too long. I made cubes and I designed and I painted and I wrote and I thought, and at the end of the year, if I had to open up a company, I'd have to go to a lawyer and get it done. I still can't do it on my own. And it's $250 an hour, probably $2,000, $3,000 to set up a company. So we're always spending, and as you spend, somebody else gets money. and they spend, and they spend, and we're all spending. But somebody's making more than the other, and always taking a little bit off the top. And at the end, once you take a little bit off the top, and everybody has a certain amount of money in a poker game, everybody's broke, and only the house has all the money. Raphael, 7286. Consolation of Pegasus. Having a ball. Thank you for watching.